Won't you be surprised to know about the construction of a grand European airport that squandered billions of dollars only to end up being a small, utterly useless one serving no purpose? The transformation of the megaproject of Forest City to a ghost city also has a similar shocking tale. There are several hugely expensive, useless megaprojects in the world. The respective governments have invested millions and billions of dollars in these ambitious projects. But guess what? None of these came to any use. In today's video, we will be sharing with you the top 5 most expensive, useless megaprojects in the world that will make you gasp out in sheer disbelief. Before we continue, do subscribe to our channel, smash that like button, and comment below the names of any such pricey, good-for-nothing projects that you know about. Spain's popularity as a tourist destination is not unknown to anyone. The idea of constructing the Ciudad Real airport was hatched to relieve the already crowded core airport in Madrid of intense pressure. Tourists and international visitors would also find it easier to navigate things in the less crowded airport of Ciudad Real. Elaborate plans had been made to make the brand new airport megaproject have one of the top 5 longest runways in Europe to accommodate 2 million passengers annually. However, the builders were also planning to later increase the airport's capacity to support 10 million tourists annually. A huge amount of $1.3 billion was spent on the airport. When it became functional in 2009, it seemed that the investment was worth it. Things started going downhill after the company responsible for the completion of the airport filed for bankruptcy in 2012, thus halting the construction activities. To add to the group of adversities, the remote location of the megaproject hastened its process to become all the more useless. Though the tag of Central is added to its name, it was not so in actuality. Being located about 200 kilometers away from the busy hub of Madrid, travelers and tourists avoided traveling for prolonged hours to get to the Ciudad Real airport. Moreover, almost all the major airlines preferred to carry on with their operations from the strategically located Madrid airport itself. Even 1 year had not passed when this megaproject got degraded into a useless airport with no passengers preferring to use it. As it became non-operational with the stoppage of airline services, the project owners fell into a great debt trap of $350 million by 2012. Soon it degraded into an abandoned establishment and was finally put up for auction in 2013. It was sold to a new owner in 2019. The poor fate of this billion-dollar mega project has rendered the architects' efforts futile. Located in the Aloha state of Hawaii, the picturesque stretch of 26 kilometers long, Interstate H3 is enveloped by a stunning landscape. Its beauty was such that it was believed that people would stop driving and get down from their vehicles to admire the sight. The aim of constructing the highway was to serve military purposes by connecting the naval base on Pearl Harbor to the Marine Corps Air Station on the eastern coast. However, the plan faced opposition from environmental activists who raised the issue of the effects of urbanization and voiced their concerns for the protection of the adjacent valleys. For 26 years, construction work was halted until Congress intervened and permitted the commencement of the highway construction in 1989. The total budget of the project is $1.3 billion, which can be broken down into $50 million per kilometer, making the useless highway the world's most expensive cost per kilometer. Now that is shocking, right? Despite the aesthetics of this lovely highway, people stopped using it. Some people believe that the defense purposes of the highway have become impertinent. The H3 highway is surely a grand engineering marvel, But to add to its damaged reputation, the native Hawaiians have made up their minds to not travel via this highway ever. They consider it to be cursed, as several cultural sites and religious structures had to be demolished for its construction. The hype created around this picturesque highway soon dissipated, thus making it a completely useless project. The lush green forest city of Malaysia was planned to make maximal utilization of reclaimed land on 4 artificial islands surrounding a good forest ecosystem that is also artificial by nature. Owing to the project's proximity to the economically sound city-state of Singapore, it was thought that the investors would get attracted to this unique property. The builders have already made plans to connect the megaproject of Forest City with Singapore via the second link bridge. The truly forest-like environment of the urban project will feature lots of buildings with vertical gardens and green rooftops. Multi-layered city streets were also constructed, with the upper layer featuring parks, transportation centers, and sports amenities, and the bottom layer housing parking lots. A huge amount of $100 billion was invested in this project. The construction was all set to be completed by 2035. Renewable energy was used to supply the entire city. Among all the 4 islands, one of these is almost complete, packed with swimming pools, beaches, 50 residential buildings, and golf courses. The problem started occurring with a large number of Chinese people flocking to this city to settle down, as they had easy access to this city. Native Malaysians did not even get to settle down in this green property, owing to Chinese infiltration. It was just in 2019 when 80% of the owners in Forest City were Chinese. This factor of Chinese settlement was not much liked by the project critics. Later, a prohibition was placed upon the foreigners from settling down and purchasing property in Forest City. After the implementation of this regulation, several foreign investors started withdrawing themselves and their hefty investments from the project. Since the pandemic, less than 10 properties have been sold. A project that could accommodate about 700,000 people now shelters only about 500 people, or less than that. This overly ambitious project seems to have lost its charm, as no one is interested in settling here. The project's fortunes have also dwindled, with 1,000 Malaysian workers laid off. About $100 billion seems to have gone to the gutters, as its worth was not realized. It could have been a prospering and buzzing residential hub, but look at it now, standing as a desolate, useless infrastructure project near Singapore. Myanmar shocked the world by materializing the idea of a brand new capital city into reality, but ultimately it was abandoned. The construction activity was started by the military bodies in a highly discreet way. Finally, in November 2005, Myanmar's leader declared that a new capital city was being built at a central location. Further, 4 months after this public declaration, the name of the capital city was disclosed. Naypyidaw means king's inhabitants. The reason for changing the capital was thought to be safeguarding the country from unexpected maritime invasions, while others believed that this move was motivated by astrological beliefs. However, the real reason was that the capital of Yangon was already packed with loads of infrastructural facilities. To accommodate further population in the capital that was fated to double by 2050, the administration decided to construct an altogether new capital city. A whopping amount of $4 billion had been invested into this useless project, featuring over 100 luxury hotels, 20-lane picturesque expressway, and museums. The new capital city is a fascinating place to live in. However, the grand capital city lies in a deserted state, as no one has really wished to settle there. Problems of poor health facilities and lack of proper educational infrastructure have made the new capital city a totally worthless one. In fact, the 20-lane roadway stays unused. The new capital's fascinating airport, that can accommodate about 3.5 million passengers every year, witnesses hardly 12 to 20 passengers using it each day. Though Naypyidaw has the potential to transform into a metropolis, it now exists as a ghost city, bereft of an intensely high population. This great initiative of disposing of nuclear wastes safely was taken by the US in 1987. The place selected for the waste deposition project was Yucca Mountain. It seemed to be the perfect location for serving the purpose of nuclear waste elimination, as the volcanic ash of the mountain further aided in the quick absorption of the waste. However, this move by the administration infuriated the public, who voiced the concern for water contamination in the adjoining areas. Despite several hurdles and opposition from various groups, the project received its approval in 2002. From that very year, the Department of Energy went ahead with the construction activity. Things came to a halt when in 2010, the US President Barack Obama stopped the funding of the project and branded it as unfeasible. The present-day Biden administration is also not interested in focusing on this project, as it's no longer part of the nation's agenda. $17 billion was invested in this project, but nothing constructive came out of it. That's how the tale of this useless megaproject ends. Thank you for watching the video till the end. How fascinated are you by the sheer worthlessness of these expensive mega projects? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoyed watching the video, do press the like button and subscribe to our channel to keep watching more such interesting videos. See you in our next video.